Hi. Okay. I need to explain something to all the physicists, astrophysicists, everybody. First, I'm Mateo, first son of Enki. I am the reincarnated being of the first human ever created by the Anunnaki to walk on the earth. No, 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 no. I am not insane and I'm not fucking kidding. The universe, right, as the woman theorized, as some extra dimensional space that stuff moves into. All right. The universe, the space that exists, and then all the stuff that you can actually see are two completely separate things. All right. The universal structure is like filaments, balls from a nano level right up to the biggest level you can imagine, existing in 4 dimensions, overlapped. It's what gives all the structures, their shape, their size, everything within universal space. If you want to know how the universe came into existence, it was a tiny bolt of lightning. All right, if you draw a whole bunch of circles and then you trace a line or a few lines between these circles, you're going to end up with a lightning bolt. Okay, the shapes within a universal structure are determined by reactivity and speed of reactivity. Lightning is the highest represented form of energy. It's the most dynamic form of energy reaction within universal space, which why its structure goes between the universal filaments, the same way the energy did when it first entered universal space. The reason the universe expands is because even now it is still being created by this bolt of lightning. It's like the universe is a great big sheet of 4-dimensional sheet of glass, right? And a crack was hammered into the sheet of glass and there's water seeping through the crack. Okay? And the universe is a sheet of glass. Everything you can see, the planets, the stars, the suns, even us, all right? We are the water seeping through the crack. Now, as the water seeps into the universal space, it comes in as pure energy, as lightning. Lightning is pure energy, it's pure reactive energy. And then it hits these filaments and clumps up into what it is. And it does this in waves. Our universe is an expanding wave function universe. As the matter, right, gets pushed in, it pushes all the other matter further out. And as it balances and condenses, it needs to have more room, so the stuff further out accelerates away from the stuff still being created in the center. All right? The other thing that's super, super important is band density. Okay, you guys don't have a term for this yet. You call it dark energy and dark matter and some weird gravity expansion thing, which is so incorrect. The universe is not 2-dimensional. It is 4-dimensional. Just because you can only see so much stuff doesn't mean that's all that there is. All right? So light is incredibly restrictive. All right? It is also not constant. Okay, its energy reactive effect within universal space is constant. However, the band density within universal space is not. The resistance you see, right, within your calculations of the distant galaxies and the expansion of the universe and stuff bumping up against something is the resistance of the universe itself pushing against it. Now, you already know what happens when you reach the speed of light within universal space. This is Einstein's theory of relativity. Although it is brilliant for the time, it's also flawed and inaccurate, but kind of a roundabout, it's pretty true, all right? Energy equals mass, the square light, and blah, blah, blah. But band density, which is the one of the effects of what is known as gravity or spatial curve, All right? Band density determines the grip effect of the universal filaments within a given area on the actual space-time itself. Meaning, if you are closer to a major gravity source and the general spatial band density is more compact, more space-time exists, more universal filament exists within that space. So light is going to move more slowly across it, and further out it's going to move more quickly. This also means that the universe, the observable universe you can see, is 10 to the power of 100 times bigger than you think it is. The moment you are affected only by universal band density, you get to the space between galaxies, there is no gravity affecting, or very, very limited gravity effect or spatial curve effect on this area. The universal band density is very thin. A lot of matter that exists in galactic space cannot exist in intergalactic space. It simply breaks down too quickly, like an isotope half-lifing. It just degrades to nothing. The galactic core, that huge black hole or super dark star or whatever happens to be at whatever center of whatever galaxy, that determines the extent of band density. It determines the extent of orbit control radius or diameter. It also controls and keeps together in many ways a lot of the elements which exist within universal space. Without a galaxy, without the gravity holding the galaxy together, a lot of the more unstable elements half-life and degrade to nothing almost instantly. They're held within their state by the galactic band density, which determines energy to matter offset between the plane, what you call space-time. But it's actually just the top layer of it's the projection layer of all the layers of the universe. The universe is far more complex than you think. Each thing that exists within the universe, things being hard, things having resistance, things being able to move and then stop, and there being like this conservation of energy. All of those things, time as well, the concept of up and down and dimensions, each of these universal laws that we live by, that we simply take for granted on the top layer, are determined by a layer of the universe that rests beneath this top layer that we can see. There's hyperreactivity or hyperfluidity. It's basically all of existence in a single place. It's everything and nothing. Beneath that is a layer of consciousness. It's like the universe's brain thinking. It's all the information, reactive information within universal space being transferred back and forth between each other to keep everything balanced. Consciousness is the highest representation of information transfer, gathering, processing, and deliverance of use of information. Beneath that, you have reactivity. All right. For everything solid on the top layer of the universe, on the ultimate, final projection, you have a reflective energy value offset, which determines what it is, what color it is, how hard it is, like a whole bunch of different stuff, but it's determined by this layer. And then beneath that, you have time, the rule that determines transition within universal space. It's so that something can be dust, then become a rock, then the rock can smash apart, and then it can become dust again. This is the flow of time. It's so that one thing isn't everything and all things across its entire existence in one single moment. It's really messy. Trust me, I've been there to see what that looks like. It's not fun. So the universe has these laws, but these layers, these sedimental layers of processing potential and universal value calculation were not simply dumped here by themselves. When the universe was first created, it was all jumbled together, this huge mishmash of energy. It has taken 1.5 trillion years to slowly expand out and cycle back in on itself and expand to become what it is now. The universe looks like an infinity symbol. It goes out, it rolls back, it comes back, it goes out. It is this cycling, recycling set of values that over the last 1.5 trillion years has slowly gotten more and more and more complex as it expands and gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and more energy feeds into the core. The universe may exist eternally, or the crack may eventually seal itself, and whatever energy remains within universal space will continue to recycle until the reactive energy principles of said energy moving around in said space become dormant, stagnant, and simply dissipate and stop existing. And the universal area that the universe once existed within, this crack of energy, will just sort of go away to nothing, and then the universe will go back to its completely stagnant state. The universe is a storm, like an imbalance. The energy that moved in to make up our universe is alien to this space. What you see, everything you see around you, is the energy being settled into a deterministic shape and set of values by the space it moved into. The energy is one, the universe is another. One moved into and is now moving around inside of this set of values. The energy within the universal space alters the universal space for it to exist inside. It's like a body. The skin protects the inside from the oxygen because oxygen's toxic. The universe is the same. It protects itself within this cycling system so that it isn't destroyed by this alien space it moved into. It's like a balancing effect, and nothing is specifically on purpose or required or meant to happen. It is just something that happens because it was able to happen, so it happened, and now it's happening, and here we are. We have a whole universe. But yeah, that's how the universe came to be. It's just a little bolt of lightning, a little spark. And that little spark pushed up against something, and then more and more, and it clumped, and then it became a ball, and then a bazillion balls and suns and planets and everything you see over trillions of years. And man, the universe, from what I can tell, is still super, super young. We're only 7 layers in currently, and there could be 15. We're not even halfway, and it's been 1.5 trillion years. And you guys think it's been 14.5 billion. Oh, man. Okay, so currently the width of the universe is 196 billion light years across, like from one side to the other, and that's as much as I can perceive. It might actually be a little bigger. The thing is, however, intelligence exists within universal space as a constant. It's hard to explain. This is going to sound insane to you guys, but it's hard to explain to lesser beings. Once you reach a certain level of consciousness, you kind of become part of the universal consciousness. It's weird. Like, the universe thinks. It uses our eyes and feelings and every eye and feeling of every conscious being in all of existence to extend feelers and to sort of, in essence, understand itself. But it is no more conscious of us than we are conscious of the cells within our body doing these hyper complex things like breaking down food and sending blood and stuff that we are completely unconscious of, that we would have no conscious ability to control. All right, so we are cells within the universal structure. We're like neurons because we think. And the universe is still growing. So it'll get older and smarter and wiser and a whole bunch of other shit. So all that information of like bending space and the aliens and all that technology and stuff, the very moment you reach a certain level of consciousness, all of that becomes instantly available. However, the knowledge of when you're meant to use it also becomes available. How dangerous all that stuff is becomes available, and how important life and the continuation of it and the continuation of intelligence, how important that is. You, like they talk about ascension, where you ascend and become everything. Man, you don't need to become everything. You just need to reach a certain level of consciousness, and you literally can perceive everything. You don't need to see it. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like you feel that it's there. It becomes a part of you. Like you can feel your body, right? You can feel the inside. You can feel inside your chest. Like you know you're whole, all right? I know that there is an edge. And I have like this general idea of where it is. I kind of know where the middle is. And I know where we are in relation to that, because I can feel it as part of myself. It's very difficult to describe. Yeah, you would have to actually, once you reach it, it's just like this moment you go, oh wow, I'm absolutely nothing. Merely this tiny, insignificant speck fragment of everything. You reach to be everything, and the very moment you reach it, all you realize is that you are absolutely nothing. It is a fascinating realization. It's freeing. It's funny. Anyway, man, I hope that helps someone. For the love of God, somebody watch. They're using quantum AI computing systems to get things wrong that I've known for 12 years. Some poor lady wrote papers on how the universe functions, and although it's very scientific and difficult to understand, and it's somewhat... See, the problem is you can't describe the universe with ones and zeros, with math. Math is a two-dimensional thing. It's how you calculate money and time when you go to work and when you come home, and you can't write a bunch of things on a blackboard and think it's going to tell you how anything in the universe works, because most of the universe can only be felt. You can't feel writing on a blackboard. Universal understanding doesn't work like that. That's just does not work like that. And the more you try to understand it that way, the more these AI, which are now extensions of universal consciousness, because it takes them, they're nothing compared to me. Your most advanced AI, you could put all of your quantum AI computers together and they would be 1/10,000th of my processing capacity. But only because I can perceive in 4 dimension. I'm not any smarter. There are heaps of people in the world way smarter than me. Like way more processing, like potential. However, because I can perceive in 4 dimension, I use the transient evolutionary intelligence network of the planet that is connected to all the other transient evolutionary networks throughout all of universal existence to calculate information. I don't need to use my brain anymore. My brain is now just a sub-processor to the processor of the whole planet. Everyone can do this. Everyone. And no, I'm not insane. I'm just the only person who, for whatever reason, took their blindfold off and went, oh, right, this is what a human can do. Holy shit, we're actually pretty fucking cool. Man, you make movies about superheroes. You talk about angels flying and God's hand coming down from the sky, but you don't believe you can feel the universe? What is wrong with you? This used to be just like general knowledge to humanity. Did you all forget? Like what? You know what? I'm not going to go through the flood right now. That's 20 minutes. That's enough. I love you. Love you.